Hi everyone, Big Man Tyrone here live on the YouTube channel, okay? Because I've just put this video up about the Migrant Party that I have launched, and I've got several comments, guys. We have upwards of 300 comments coming from you guys. Now, comments, range from friendly comments to supportive comments to derogatory comments. But I get the sense, guys, that not everyone has actually understood what I'm trying to accomplish here. So I'm here, guys, live, okay, to answer all your concerns and to allay some of your fears. Because some of you have the impression that the Migrants Party has been set up to stir strife, to denigrate the people of Great Britain. Some of you have talked about my hatred for the United Kingdom. And that's the only comment, guys, that has made me really, really sad today. I can take all the other comments, but the comments that one of you made and said that I am a hater of Great Britain, I don't accept it at all. When I came to this country about 20 years ago, I came on the back of political persecution. I found peace in this country. I found love in this country. I found a welcome in this country. This country has allowed me to rebuild my life from scratch, and I've been able to do all the things that I've done. I've set up businesses in this country. I've even had more children in this country. I've set up a YouTube channel in this country. I've done so much work in the community, with all segments of the population of this country. I've held important positions in this country. So this country, Great Britain, is the country that I love the most. I know it might sound unpatriotic to say this because I'm from Cameroon, but this is a country that has, welcomed me and my family. They've done so many good things for me. I am the one person that calls for people to stand up in love for this country, be they migrants, be they anybody from anywhere. So I'm here, guys, to reiterate that the Migrants Party, as I have launched it, has not got an agenda to denigrate the people of this country. When you will see all that I've planned for the Migrants Party, from all the programs that we have, including patriotism days where migrants will come out and express their love and patriotism for this country. Would have even Thanksgiving days when people will come out, when migrants will come out and go into the community just to tell the people of Great Britain, thank you for accepting us here. Thank you. Programs that will benefit migrants to allow them to integrate into British community properly. So it's going to lay emphasis on things like, respecting the law. I don't have a criminal record in this country. I am one of the people that tell migrants, when you go to a country, you should respect the laws of the land. You should respect its people. I've even got a book that is coming out. It's about etiquette for migrants. What do you do when you climb on a bus? What do you do when you get to the post office and there's a long queue? All of that is to show you guys that the Migrants Party is here as a party of construction, is here as a party of congeniality, is here as a party that brings migrants and the local people together. So I will now, open the floor to take your questions. Some of you have said that I'm useless without a script. All right, all right. So bear with me, guys. This is not scripted. This is not scripted. Sorry. I will take all your questions, or as many questions as I can, and I'll allay some of your fears. So I'll just go back to the comment section now and then see how we can get these questions going. So did you know every 60 seconds a minute passes in Africa? Oh, come on, guys. Is this an actual political party? Yes, it is a political party which has been approved by Her Majesty's Electoral Commission. It is a political party, and we will be standing elections, to run for parliament. What is your age? My age is 53. Okay, there's no secret there. How are you such a nice person? Well, it's just thanks to you guys. You make me happy every day. That's why I am a nice person. Are you actually running for PM, or is it a joke? No. Well, I'm not running for, I'm not running to become the prime minister. That's not what it is. I'm running for parliament. I will be putting myself forward to run for parliament. Now, I just warn you guys that this is being done at home in my home office, so you might see interruptions. Okay, there's my daughter staring out there, and so once in a while you might hear voices or you might see people. But let's just continue doing this, guys. Somebody said, "We love you, Tyrone." Oh, thank you. His name is not Tyrone, his name is Jamal. Hey, brother, please say hi. Where are you from? Well, I'm from Cameroon originally, but I'm a British citizen, okay? And this is what I tell people. I tell people that I am not here to wreak havoc because I am a citizen of this country, okay? I have sworn allegiance to this country. That is my British passport, okay? I don't want to show it too much because somebody might try to nab it and steal my identity. All right. But I am a patriot. In fact, when I swore my allegiance to the Queen at my nationality ceremony, I was one of the few people that knew how to sing God Save the Queen. And here's how the refrain goes. Send her victorious, happy and glorious, long to reign over us. God save the Queen. Now, how many of you out there, British people, can actually sing the British anthem? All right. Okay, back to the questions now. Loves the Queen. Of course, I love the Queen. I absolutely love the Queen 100%. Okay. Did you find it hard acclimatizing to British culture? Well, no, because Cameroon is actually a British colony. Cameroon was colonized by the French and the English. I grew up in the English part and studied in the French part. So British rule has always been in my country. And, I wasn't really, it wasn't difficult for me to actually acclimatize in this country. One question, Tyrone, what are your views on legal immigration? Well, I've often said that if people are legal, they should be allowed to come into any country. Okay? Because I can go to Thailand, Thai people come here, British people go to other countries. As a matter of fact, about 180,000 British people travel worldwide, every year. So immigration is something that is always going to happen. My view is that people should be legal when they come to another country. But again, not everybody can be legal because if there's a national crisis, if there's a war and people are fleeing persecution, if people are running away from natural disasters, then we should be able to bring them in, process them, find out why they are there, and if they are genuine, we can allow them to stay. If they are not, then we can send them away. There's absolutely no reason why, people should come to any country without the proper documentation if they are not fleeing persecution. What country do you come from? Well, I come from Cameroon. That's where I come from. If you could run for PM, would you? Would support you? Well, I doubt it. Having read all your comments on the YouTube channel now, I'm beginning to have second thoughts. I might not run because I've got 50% voting me down, and 50% giving me the thumbs up. So I'm not sure. I'm not really sure. Okay, right now. How will you get supporters? Of course, I've got supporters, all over the country. There are a lot of British people who will understand what I'm doing. They'll understand that this is one migrant that is trying to bring constructive ideas to this country. This is one migrant that has got a love for people of other countries. Now, look at the YouTube channel that I've created. There are people on that channel from 124 countries. I've not had any issues with you guys on the channel. I've worked with people from Chile. I've worked with people from Argentina, from Brazil, from Asunción, from Johannesburg, from Nigeria, from the United Kingdom, from all over the world, New Zealand, Australia. I've worked with everybody. And in the same spirit, I'll be working with Bangladeshi people in the United Kingdom. I'll be working with, Muslims and Christians and people of all nations, tribes, and tongues. The idea being that I will form a synergy of migrants in this country that will come together to see how we can build Britain as a land of respect, as a land of mutual respect. One thing you guys don't realize is that in my program, in this program, in one of the policies of the Migrants Party, is that we are critical of migrants themselves. We are telling migrants you cannot disrespect the laws of this land. For instance, why would a migrant get to the post office? Why would a migrant get to the post office and not stand in the queue? Just because you are not used to standing in the queue back in Cameroon does not mean that you cannot stand in queue here. So we are calling on migrants to become upright citizens. For those that are not, we are saying they should stay away from crime because they have to respect the laws of the land. So don't start off, guys, by thinking that the Migrant Party has come to open the floodgates of migration or put migrants above British people. It can never happen. The British people are, first of all, the owners of this land. We respect that. I respect that. All I'm saying is that nobody has the mandate in this country to call for the destruction of migrants. If the Prime Minister can mock migrants, there's something wrong with it. I take exception to that. Boris Johnson cannot mock women wearing hijabs because he does not decide what people wear in their culture. So the Migrant Party, while it is here to unite people and do all these great things, is standing firmly and unapologetically against racial abuse from however high it might come. Do you still talk with PewDiePie? Well, no, PewDiePie has gone into hiding since his wedding. He's gone into honeymoon mode, so nobody's seen PewDiePie for quite a while. He's gone AWOL, guys. What do you think of Brexit? Well, guys, Brexit is going to happen, so it doesn't really matter what the Migrant Party thinks of Brexit, okay? But my own personal views are that Brexit is not good for migrants because it is, it's going to cause them difficulties at the level of travel. So when I was a refugee, because I came as an asylum seeker, morphed into a refugee before I became a British citizen, it's going to be difficult for migrants to travel to European countries. So they have to always, seek visas and so on. Now, for those of the migrants that are already in the European Union and trying to come to the UK, that will depend on what deal is struck, whether they can come here, integrate into this community, and vice versa, those that are here, if they are going back. It just depends on what deal is going to be struck. So from that point of view, I can say that, Brexit is a good thing because it can be negotiated, to go either way. Economically, though, I think we will have a short period of instability when systems are put into place for the movement of goods and the movement of services. There's going to be a few glitches. But depending, of course, as I've said, on how the deal is struck, Britain could come out of this better and stronger and save some money, okay? Somebody says that the EU is a very corrupt organization. Well, I'm not quite sure about that, I'm not too sure about that. You should ask Nigel Farage and his friends over there. How's Allegra and Excellence? That's from Benny Place. Oh, Benny Place, thank you. They are good. They are good. Okay. And somebody says, Big Man Tyrone, will you donate to Team Trees? Yes, shoot me an email, okay? Shoot me an email. My email is still the same. It's basedtyrone@gmail.com. Shoot me an email, and of course, I'll donate to that cause. So, what made you move to Britain? Well, I came to Britain because of political persecution. I was a journalist back in Cameroon. I was a TV presenter. I have traveled to other countries in the world, Spain, France, and so on. So it was while I was in the UK researching a book that I was writing about political freedoms that I got word that I was being sought after and my offices had been ransacked. So I had to ask to stay. By the way, I was well treated by the Home Office because they had documentation about me. They had videotapes of my stay at of my work at Cameroon Television. They had huge numbers of Betacam tapes, and my caseworker took the tapes away, played them, and saw that actually I had a case. And I think I had one of the fastest immigration cases. 9 days, guys. 9 days is when I got my decision. It was put on the 3rd, and on the 12th, the Home Office called me and said, you can stay in the United Kingdom. That's why I came here. Big Man Tyrone, is the world ready to be ruled under one governing body? If not, do you think I can't catch that question? But no, I don't think that the world can be ruled by one massive body, because we have so many different factions, so many different egos. We have presidents that are already ruling different countries, and everybody's going to want to hang on to their own territory. So I am thinking that it is not going to be easy to have one body rule the whole world. Antisocial news, bro. It's Sully. Please tell US to show. Oh, I just missed your question there. It just zoomed past. Sorry about that. You know. So now I see Big Man Tyrone. What would you do if Israel tried to attack Kyrgyzstan? Of course, Kyrgyzstan defends itself robustly. Of course, as the president of Kyrgyzstan, we would fight. Anyone that comes to attack us. But as you know, Israel is a country. It's a noble country that is respected all around the world. It is one of those countries that we should try not to touch, because they are also extremely powerful. Go and ask their enemies that have tried to attack them and see how powerful they are. Mention my book, Gordon, Interwhistle, a novel. Of course, I've written so many, I've made so many videos, about Interwhistle. Gosh, I don't know, maybe 50 videos or so. And Interwhistle, the novel, is the novel that everyone should read, not just Catholics. Everyone should read it. These are, mystical novels that carry real truth. And of course, Interwhistle, a novel. Go get a copy right now. Big Man Tyrone, can you say Greek is inactive? Pepe laugh. Of course, Greek is inactive. Pepe laugh. Big Man Tyrone, me and my wife want you at our wedding. We want you at our wedding, and I'm serious. Of course, send me an invite. People have invited me to different places around the world. I was in Bucharest, Romania in 2014. Was it 2015? I'm not sure, where I had a wonderful time with those guys at the University of Bucharest. So you can invite me anytime, guys. Of course, all expenses paid. Okay. Antisocial news. You missed my questions, but you still skipped it. Okay. Bring your question back, please. Antisocial news. That's my very good friend Sully from Antisocial News. He supported everything I've done on this channel, and he's now released his own sauce, Sully sauce, Sully hot sauce. Actually, Sully hot sauce. You should try it sometimes. Wonderful sauce. Now, Tyrone, with the topic of asylum seekers, if they seek asylum in safe country, will you send them? I didn't quite catch that question, but an asylum seeker has to seek asylum in the first safe country that they enter in. So if an asylum seeker left Cameroon and was coming to the United Kingdom and landed, okay, will you send them back if another country offered them asylum first? Absolutely. Because if you landed in France on your way to the UK, you have to seek asylum in France. So you have to seek asylum in your first port of call. If you don't do that, then it raises questions as to your claim. It means you're not saying, you're not speaking the truth. Now, this is 2B2T. Will you make more 2B2T videos on your gaming channel? Of course, I'll be making videos. Now, being a politician, guys, becoming a politician doesn't mean that I'll not be doing videos. I know some of you guys are wondering if Big Man Tyrone is going to now go away and start, hiding behind his bodyguards and so on. Now, we can always lose the bodyguards anytime, guys, and do videos in the dark. Okay. Okay, to be tutti. Somebody came back. He said when. Well, I'm now currently reviewing all my systems and getting my PC upgraded because I found out that my PC was not very good, guys. It's extremely slow. As you know, I'm an old-fashioned guys, but my kids, Allegra Excellence and Miracle have been persistent. They said, Dad, get a new PC and let's get this gaming thing going. So it's on, guys. Okay, Big Man Tyrone, what's your okay, what does the migrant party? Oh, I just missed that. Please, could you do a very long ray? Of course, I can do a very long ray. How is this? Ray! Oof. Oof. Big Man Tyrone, how many seconds pass every minute in the UK? Well, actually, three minutes. All right. Let me see. Do you still identify as an attack helicopter? Of course I do. Of course I do. Now let me see. Does the migrant party support? I just missed it because the questions are scrolling so fast. Your comments are scrolling so fast. I've seen your Tyrone Bob Pop video. Are you really? I'm not sure. The migrants party support a technocracy. Technocracy. Well, I know that's supposed to be like a government that's run by technocrats. Not necessarily, because I've seen that technocrats are not necessarily good leaders. We've heard of cases where a good medical doctor has been taken out of his job and given the rulership of a hospital or leadership of a hospital, and they've done a bad job. Good with a scalpel, but bad with administration. So technocrats, I think, are there to do the actual job and also proffer advice. That's why mandarins stay in offices to proffer advice. But the work of the government, of the legislature, and of the judiciary, I think, is for people that are, trained to do those. And technocrats should stay in their jobs to help with the technocratic elements of the job. Does the party support capitalism? Of course, we support capitalism because we know that it's capitalism that makes the world go round. Somebody said, if you don't support capitalism, then tomorrow morning, fly to the Caribbean and buy your mango, go to China and buy your raisins, and then take another flight and go to Finland, and get your bread, and then come back and make your breakfast. Now, what he meant by that is that goods move around the world and things go round because of capitalists. And that's how we get things on our dinner table every day. You can get a whole breakfast meal on your table with everything you want because this capitalist went to that country and shipped it there. So capitalism is what makes the world go round, guys. So the Migrants Party supports capitalism. Okay. So, Big Man Tyrone, when will you start? Do you speak Dutch? No, I don't speak Dutch. It's an extremely difficult language. But I've had occasion to read scripts in Dutch, and some have pulled off well, some have not pulled off so well. But no, I don't speak Dutch. It's a tough language. Somebody was saying something about Big Man Tyrone. Do you think migrants have a right to come to the UK? I wanted to read that question, but it's just gone past me there. Bear with me, guys. Bear with me. I got a little cold today. Tyrone, under the Migrant Party, did Epstein kill himself? Oh, come on, guys. Come on. How many languages do you know? Well, I know actually 2 languages properly and my mother tongue. My mother tongue is called Mungaka. It's an African language that I speak and you can never understand it because it's so tongue twisting. But I do speak French, of course. Most of you know that I speak French. I do your scripts in French, and most of the time I don't charge for my French scripts because I do that as one of my natural languages. French is, I would say, is my first, and English is my second. Okay. Big Man Tyrone for President 2020. Oh, you want Donald Trump to whack me? Okay. What is the Migrant Party and where is it set in? The Migrant Party is based in the United Kingdom. Okay. It is based in the United Kingdom with headquarters in Leeds, where I live. That's where the founders sat down and decided that we would create a political party. The aim of the political party, I think I've already spelled it out in some of my responses here, is to create a congenial atmosphere in the United Kingdom for migrants and local people to live together in a spirit of love, harmony, and shared values. We also aim to, highlight the contribution of migrants to the UK. So if there are migrants doing good things, we want to highlight those so people can see that migrants are doing a good job. For instance, 64% of staff in the National Health Service, NHS, are migrants. Now, this is significant. A lot of migrants drive taxis. A lot of migrants, do babysitting. A lot of migrants do work in the hotel industry. So we want to highlight that also to let people see that migrants are not just useless people, cockroaches, as some people call us. We're not just cockroaches. We're here to also help to build a nation. We are also aiming to use the party as a platform to bring migrants to understanding UK culture so they can interact positively with the people of this country and live better lives with them. Do you know that there are some migrants that do not, know that you need an insurance for a car, but that's because of where they came from. Okay. Now, but when they come here, we are going to be telling them that ignorance is not something that is excused under the law. If you want to drive a car, get proper insurance. If you want to go anywhere, make sure that you have proper cover. So we are not here to just say migrants are the best and local people are the worst. We are also hard on migrants because we want migrants to represent us properly. We want migrants to do things correctly. They say if you go to Rome, do what the Romans do. Okay? Big Man Tyrone, what happens if UK goes to war with Kyrgyzstan? What side would you choose? Oh my goodness. My wife is looking on and feeling sorry for me because that's a tough question. I don't know. But come on, guys. I am a British citizen, okay? And I'm the president of Kyrgyzstan. I think what I'll do is that I'll use my diplomatic skills to mediate in such a way that the war does not happen. How is that? Now, what is the Migrant Party's opinion on online privacy? Of course, guys, online privacy is something that is taken very, very seriously. We've just seen how the European Union directives, GDPR, came into force, and privacy has become a centrifugal, element in all web activity. So people's privacy has to be respected. If you are, for instance, collecting people's emails, there has to be a double opt-in. That's what I do, so people have to opt in onto your list and people can leave whenever they want to leave. You cannot use people's information without their consent. And of course, if you're going to be collecting sensitive information about people, you have to show how you're going to preserve that information so it doesn't get lost or stolen. Okay. Somebody said, I love you. Well, that's the first thing I've heard today because all I've heard today is hate from all over. There's so much hate coming out of the channel today, guys. It's refreshing to see somebody say, I love you, Tyrone. Okay. Now, how do you think we can stop knife crime? You see, now these are the kinds of questions that I want to hear because as you know, knife crime is something that is more common within the migrant community. I think we would have to put this question up for another day because we have a whole program that is actually designed to work with the community, with the police, and so on to reduce knife crime. My wife is just coming out and is staring at me. Is there something you want to say to me, darling? Are you all right? Because I'm live on the channel now. Yeah, trying to answer some of their questions.
Okay.
All right.
I'll let you perform a little.
Okay, then. That was my wife, guys. Sorry, I had to, pay homage to the missus, okay? I don't want to sleep on the couch tonight. Big Man Tyrone, you're an amazing person who has made a big difference on the internet. This is why, well, okay, I missed it. But thank you very much. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Okay. Will the Migrant Party ever go? Please bring that question back. Bring that question back. I really want to see. Will you do a collab with Kanye West? Of course, I'm a Christian singer as well. I sing Christian music. So if Kanye West has time, I'd like to do a wonderful collab with him. As you know, Kanye West is now in Christ. So he's my brother in Christ. All right, and Kanye is a really good guy, and I'm sure that he's making the right decisions all the time. So of course, I would like to do a collab with him. Does the Migrant Party support Brexit? Well, I've already given my position there. I've said that Brexit is going to happen whether the Migrants Party supports it or not. Okay, so we don't want to be polemical about something that's already happened. Will the Migrant Party ever go international? Well, I hope so. I hope that when we have finished with the Migrant Party in the United Kingdom, when I've put out all those programs that I want to put out, and when people will see how Britain has become positive about migration, how migrants and the local people are living in harmony, working hand in hand peacefully, that migrants in Germany will reach out to us and say, hey, Big Man Tyrone, can you bring the Migrant Party's blueprint and let's apply it over here in Germany? Because as you know, the same issues that we are discussing about migration here is the same issue that is being discussed in Canada, in America, all over Europe, Germany, France, Sweden. So yes, I am truly hoping that what we are doing here is a huge, huge effort that is going to, go international. Okay. Okay. How can we stop acid attack? I think acid attacks are like any other attack, except that they are more dangerous. The way to stop acid attacks, first of all, is to reach out to everyone and let people know that you need to love your fellow man. There's no need throwing things on people. There's no need throwing things on people. I can imagine that going out now with the amount of hate that I'm seeing on the channel today, that some of you may want to throw milkshake in my face. But my bodyguards will snatch you, snatch you. And if I take you to Africa every 60 seconds, all right, I have big respect for what you are doing, bro, with the Migrant Party and the memes. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you for that. That's another positive comments today. Very, very few. Will your party run in the general election on the 12th of December? Well, to be honest, guys, that's our intention. We would like to run. But as you know, to be able to run for elections, you need to have sufficient preparation. You need sufficient funds as well. I've just put up this video today to announce that the party is being launched to see if we can raise funds. We've got all these comments coming from you guys, and I don't know, guys. I don't know, but it would be great if you guys can, look at supporting this party. If you can look at, putting your money. Yes, of course, you need £500 a seat to run. Yeah, that's right. You need £500, but you also need flyers. You need all manner of things. You need a car. You need to travel. You need to do, buy space on television to advertise and so on. So I would say it's a long stretch for us, but we would really have loved to run for this election so that we can get people in parliament, guys. We can get migrants in parliament supporting the cause of migrants. And let me say something really, really quickly here, guys, and address something that I'm just reading on the channel now about somebody saying that Big Man Tyrone is trying to make migrants, to set up a party to make migrants to be above British people. This is false, guys. This is totally false, totally false. Big Man Tyrone is one of those people that really, really respects the British people. Perhaps I can let my wife speak off camera here and tell you people how much I really, really love this country. Can you tell these people, tell these fans of mine, my love for this country? I'm sure they can hear you from there.
Yes. I think sometimes when people just see the things that you do on the channel or just see you just as a black man, they not really understand the magnitude of the things that Britain has done for us as individuals or for the migrant community as a whole. When you look at the fact that if there's a war in Sudan, for example, that Britain sends out an aircraft to airlift people that are in danger and bring them to a place where they can find succor, they can find comfort, and they can exist without fear of their daily needs being met. When we look at the fact that you are an exiled journalist and you've come to this country and it's opened its arms to you and received you and given you a chance to stay here and live comfortably and your family. That's just a small portion of what the British society has done for us as individuals. But it has reached out to so many other people that have similar stories or even worse stories than we have. So creating the Migrant Party is also a way of saying we are grateful and that there's only one way that Britain can be a better place is if there is a migrant that understands the British society and is able to share from a migrant perspective what the migrants can bring to Britain, and for Britain to be able to understand what they have brought to the migrants. And only in this case can there be a peaceful coexistence. There are migrants in this country who were born here, they don't have any other home, either because they are second generation, third, or fourth generation. Britain is a multicultural nation par excellence. There is nothing we are able to do about multiculturalism in Britain. There is no way you can send away migrants from Britain in totality because every second or third British family has got migrants in their family, whether they're coming from wherever in Africa, from Europe or America or wherever. So the best thing to do is to find out how can we peacefully coexist in this nation that has opened its borders to receive us. We are not advocating anarchy. Oh, migrants come in here and do as you please.
No, not at all.
All that the party is about to do is to create a platform where those specific issues will be dealt with to create a better society for everybody.
Wonderful. I hope you guys heard what my wife was saying. She was saying what I always say, and I'll be saying in my book when it comes out. My book is about my love for Great Britain, the best country in the world. And in that book, we are going to be extolling some of the virtues of this country and what they've achieved for migrants. My wife is testament also to the fact that this country has airlifted Sudanese people during the war and brought them to this country. That when there was a war in Kosovo, that Great Britain brought people, went and extracted people and brought them here so they could live in peace. The Migrants Party, my friends, is a gratitude party. Let me say this again. The Migrants Party is a gratitude party. The first message of the Migrants Party to the British people is this: thank you for accepting us in your country. Thank you for giving us opportunity. Thank you that you built a country in which we can live with peace, in peace with our families. Thank you for building a country that can give us opportunities to work, to set up businesses. Thank you for giving us a country where we can express political opinions fearlessly. In my country, if I had said that the president of the republic was wrong in his opinion, I would be dead by now or be in a torture chamber. But I can freely tell you guys here that I don't agree with Nigel Farage. I can freely tell you guys I don't agree with Boris Johnson. I can freely tell you that I don't agree with Jeremy Corbyn, and I'm safe. And I can say it over and over. I can write it. This is the legacy of your country. This is a legacy of Great Britain. This is the reason why Great Britain is dear to me. And that's a message I want to transfer onto the migrants. I want to tell the migrants this. Migrants, Britain is a country that has been built by British people sometimes on the sweat of immigrants, I have to acknowledge, but it's still their country, guys. In my country, Cameroon, we don't have a quota for how many white police officers should be on the force. We have it in this country. Do you know Merseyside Police has a quota of 1.2%? 1.2% of all of all policemen have to be migrants. But in Cameroon, we don't have a quota where we say 1.2% must be white people. So while some of my friends might find it objectionable, this country is actually more encompassing than most of the countries where we come from. This country is actually more culturally, a melting pot. That's one of the countries that we come from.
That's right.
Because in this country, you find we have about, 11 million migrants in this country. Somebody was trying to distinguish between migrants and immigrants. The reason we've not distinguished between them is because we find there's no difference. A migrant and an immigrant means the same thing. They've come here from somewhere. It doesn't matter how they've come. They've come to study, they've come to work, they've come to play, they've come to joke. They are all migrants. We are all migrants. I can say that I'm not a migrant because I'm a British citizen, but that is false. Because I am a British citizen, but I'm a migrant. Now, our children are not migrants because they were not, they've not come from anywhere else. They are de facto British citizens that were born here and they live here. But you and I are migrants because we came into this country.
That's right.
And sought to live here. You did not even seek asylum. I sought asylum because I was being persecuted. You were living in Germany and studying, and you came here to come and join me with the rest of the family.
That's right.
So we want people to understand what the Migrant Party is about, my dear friends. Do not say you are disappointed about Big Man Tyrone, because Big Man Tyrone is trying to do something positive that would help society to grow peacefully and live in harmony. That's what the Migrant Party is about. If you would just be patient, guys. I see somebody saying here, we don't want migrants. That's okay. If you don't want migrants, that's okay. But the question I'm going to ask you is this. When you wake up tomorrow, do you think that the migrant is doing something to help your country as well? Is there a taxi driver somewhere? That's a migrant. Is there a nurse in the NHS? That's a migrant. Is there somebody sweeping the streets, carrying the bins, washing the plates in the restaurants? That is a migrant. Migrants pay taxes in this country. Migrants help the people of this country in their work. Somebody says no more migrants. I'm sorry, but majority of migrants are in the NHS, something you access for free. Well, you only access the NHS for free, as you know, when your income is below a certain threshold. If your income is not below a certain threshold, you don't access the NHS for free. And just so you know, when people are seeking to stay in the UK now, part of their visa application carries a fee, a medical fee. So migrants are actually now putting down some money for using the NHS. So let's be clear about that. Somebody says, I think Eastern European migrants are the worst. Well, I don't think so. You can't tar everybody with the same brush. Some of you are saying Big Man Tyrone is a good migrant. That is actually not true, because we cannot distinguish migrants on the basis of who they are or what they do. We have skilled migrants, unskilled migrants. We have educated migrants, uneducated migrants. A migrant that did not go to school, my dear friends, who fled persecution and came here, has never been to school. You cannot expect him to interact with you the same way Big Man Tyrone does. The reason I can interact with you guys at all levels is because I'm a highly educated migrant, an executive, who is now here doing the things that you guys love. So migrants are trying their best to, fit into the society. And that's why we need the Migrant Party, guys. We need the Migrant Party for that. You see, we do need this party. Now, looking at your comments on the channel, can you see why we need the Migrant Party?
Yes.
The amount of hate, 59%, guys,
yes,
of you hate the Migrant Party. which is fine. But you've been spewing out racist and hateful comments against myself. Some of you have asked me to go back to my country. Now that is the reason why the Migrants Party needs to be created, so that people that think like that would be converted to think properly and to think twice before they spew such negative comments. If you came to my country today, I can't say that you should get out of my country. No, we have white people in my country. As a matter of fact, in my country, in Cameroon, where I come from, when somebody does something well, we say he has done it like a white man, isn't it?
That's right.
You know, we used to say, I pay my debts like a white man.
That's right.
I drive my car
Like a
white man. Because in my country, we respect white people. We respect their intelligence. They come to our country and they build all these oil rigs and all these wonderful bridges and roads, and we love white people. Similarly, we are saying that we should highlight the usefulness of migrants in this country. You may not like them. You know, you don't have to like migrants, but don't vilify them.
That's right.
You may not like somebody, but it doesn't mean you have to vilify them. So I'm here today, guys, for the last 1 hour. I came live so I could allay some of your fears. Some of you were going to have a bad night tonight. You're going to sleep badly tonight. You're going to say, gosh, you know, Big Man Tyrone is betrayed us and so on. No, I'm here, guys. I'm here to tell you guys that the Migrant Party has come as a positive and uniting force. It's come to draw migrants and the local people together and build a synergy that would lead to people living a life of harmony, of love, and of shared values. You know, somebody's talking about the NHS. I just missed it. Okay. The moment you hate migrants, these comments flash past so soon, and I'm reading on my mobile phone, guys. That's why I can't keep pace with them. Open all borders is going to ruin all countries. Of course, there can be no open borders. Somebody's just talking about open borders. You cannot open borders. You can't go to Cameroon now without a visa.
That's right.
You can't, unless you have a convention with the country. And even when you have a convention, when you get to the airport, you have to be vetted and your passport cleared before you can go in.
That's right.
Open borders cannot be allowed, guys. You cannot have a country where there are open borders. You cannot. But my contention is this. When the tsunami hit in Indonesia last time, we know 400 British people were involved. What do you think happened to those 400 people that were saved, that were rescued from that tsunami? They'll be taken into the country. They'll be given clothes. They'll be fed. And they'll be kept safely, processed. Okay? So you cannot tell me that that situation is different from a migrant that's fleeing persecution and is found in a boat in the Atlantic Ocean. It's the same thing, guys. It's the same thing. Being caught in a tragedy is something we cannot help. Now, if I had been killed, we would not have a Big Man Tyrone today. Big Man Tyrone is here because he came to the safety of this country. And there are so many people coming to this country also who really, really want to do good, who really want to live a good life. That's why the Migrant Party is here, to encourage them to do good, to be honest, hardworking people, as one of my friends is saying. We want migrants to be, to be united. Somebody is saying Nigerians must unite. Of course, everybody has to unite for the common good of Great Britain. I don't want to hear somebody talking about our party as an assimilation party, as Danny Ferguson is saying right now. I tell you something, Danny. We're not an assimilation party. There are some migrants out there that believe that we have to come out in this country, teach the British people a new culture, teach them, a new religion, teach them how to live and so on. The British people do not need that. They do not need that. And I'm saying these things not because I want to assimilate migrants. Migrants can keep their culture, they can wear their burqa, they can eat their, tandoori rice, they can do whatever they want to do. But what migrants should not do, guys, is to try to flout the laws of this country. We don't stand for that. The Migrant Party condemns in the strongest terms, disorganized migrants' behavior. Migrants that will not learn how to live in a decent way in this community. Migrants that are committing crimes and shaming other migrants like me that want to adhere by the law. We don't want those. We condemn those in the strongest terms. And that is my former position. And that's never going to change. So I want everybody to know today, guys, that we are not talking about assimilation here. We're not saying that everybody should become, a stooge to the white, culture and not keep their own cultures. No. Culture is something that is specific to a people. We cannot assimilate people. I am not assimilated. The reason I choose to wear suits is because I've worn suits all my life since I was 3 years old. And as a television presenter, I wore only suits. That's why I wear suits. And I wear suits because they are the only clothes that fit me. Suits fit me well. My fans like it. It looks presentable on screen. I don't wear suits because I don't want to wear traditional clothes. I just have not grown up wearing traditional clothes. So please, let's not use words like assimilation. That is not the right way to go. My opinions about R. Kelly. Well, I can't say, guys. I know he's been accused of doing bad things to young girls. He's been accused of sexual abuse. I don't know what the truth of the matter is, but I'm sure that the law will go its full course to find the truth. Okay. JJ says, great message, Tyrone. I wish you all the best in your political endeavors. Okay, and that is wonderful there. Oh, wonderful. Where are you standing? Well, I'm not actually standing. I'm actually sitting, guys. I'm actually sitting in my home office. I'm sitting in my home office. I don't know if you can see. That's my computer there. My home office also has a bed there. So that's where I'm sitting. I'm just sitting. I'm at home. I'm doing this from home. When I came back and saw all the comments that you guys had left, I just felt that you guys looked pretty worried in the comment section there, and I didn't want to leave you guys worried and to go and have a bad night and think that Tyrone was trying to plan something against yourself. So I came to clear the air, guys, to clarify things, to make sure that you guys understand what I'm trying to do. And guys, I'm not trying to hoodwink you here. It's not like I have some secret agenda, but I'm always one that is upfront with the way that I think. I believe that migrants come to this country. Their role in this country is not to rule over the country, over the country's people. It's not to teach the country's people. British people don't need schooling by migrants. And for God's sake, let's stop being critical of everything in this country. The trains are slow, the NHS waiting times are long, and things like that. Because as a matter of fact, let me tell you something. About 20 years ago, Cameroon, where I come from, had a similar health system like the NHS, where we had free medical care. Am I right, mommy? We had free Medicare. We had people take prescriptions and go to the almoners to go and get free medication. We had that. But because of corruption, because of political mismanagement of resources, now we have broken health systems that cannot compare to the health systems in this country. So when we come to this country now, it's a privilege to enjoy the health, in this country. Now, I am emotional, guys, when I talk about the NHS in this country. And for the simple reason that the NHS has saved my family in this country. I remember when my wife, lay in the hospital to give birth to our last son, the difficulty that she went through to give birth to him. And she lay in the hospital in Liverpool, and I looked at her, and I just walked out of the room because I could not stand the pain that she was going through. And at that moment, an army of nurses and doctors, I think they were around 8 around your bed or so, came in, arrested the whole situation, got her through what was a difficult night, took her out of the woods, and gave birth to our son. I remember my son at the age of 3. He fell down from the second floor of our house. He fell down from the second floor of our house. Mommy, can you please lock that door? Because I'm on a live stream here. Thank you very much. This guy fell down. He was 3 years old, a little child, crawled through the window and fell through the second, and fell through the window, 2 floors down, fell on concrete, and was rushed to the hospital in Liverpool. And at that time, when my car was in the garage, I found myself running on the road to go to the hospital, had to catch a bus. And before I got there, I was imagining all kinds of things. Is my son broken? Is his head shattered? Are his limbs gone? And then I came there and I saw that the nurses were putting him through a CT scan, and they brought him out, and everything was wonderful. He walked home safely. I cannot remember how many times we've had to call the ambulance to the house, either because somebody had a wheezy chest or had an infection. I think I've even had the ambulance come there once. Somebody in my house has got asthma. We've seen wonderful medical staff that have come to this country and and done all manner of things to help my family. So we really, really appreciate what this country has done for us. Shall we talk about the police? How the police have kept us safe in this land, how the police have even come and intervened in personal matters, like when my office was burgled some time ago, and I said it on the channel, and that the police came within 5 minutes of that burglary taking place, and taking down notes, and taking CCTV pictures and doing all those things. Now, I want migrants to be in that mindset, a mindset of gratitude. Are we grateful to this country? Are we grateful that this country is doing all these great things for us? Of course, I know some of my migrant friends would say that we have to come to this country and teach them a lesson, because we don't want to give ourselves away as slaves. We don't want. Nobody's saying that a migrant should be a slave, but we are saying that we have to respect the institutions and the laws of the land. So, with your party, Tyrone, what is your opinion on migrants who enter the UK just to commit crimes? Of course, guys, migrants, look, people coming to commit crimes in a country is a bad thing, whether they are migrants or not migrants. A British person committing a crime is bad. A migrant committing a crime is bad. So it's not about whether somebody, whoever commits a crime has to be met with the fullest extent of the law. And the Migrants Party has got a program for that. We are going to be talking about offending and re-offending. And don't be surprised if a migrant commits a crime and is given 2 years, and the Migrant Party comes up and says, no, we think they should have 4 years. Because we don't want people to tarnish our image as migrants in this community. So one of the things that we are trying to do, we are trying to help ourselves as well. We are trying to say, if we can make this country, if we can show the British people that we are grateful, if we can show the British people that we are cultured people, if we can show the British people that we appreciate our stay in this country, then perhaps we can start to, build an atmosphere of trust. Somebody saying, are you the party leader? Yes, I am the party leader. You're looking at the party leader of the Migrant Party, so you have to stand at attention, my friends. I'm just kidding. Yes, I am the leader of the Migrant Party, okay? I am the man. So do you want help with your website? Please contact me. Somebody just, Onyx is asking if I need help with my website. Yes, you can see that the website www.migrantsparty.com is still under construction, guys. We've not been able to find the funds to do it, okay? I heard that you are a Christian. What denomination are you? Well, guys, I was born to a Catholic mother and a Protestant father. So I grew up as a Protestant young boy. I went to a British school back in Cameroon. Cameroon Protestant College is a British missionary school back in Cameroon. That's where I went. And that's where I became, that's where I started, becoming a Christian at my very young age. Right now, I always associate with the Pentecostal style of worship, where we sing and clap in church and give praise to the Lord. That's my denomination. All right. the questions have gone. Okay, they've come back now. Long live Kyrgyzstan. Yay! Shadile, my friends. Shadile. 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 All right. Migrants should be sent home and make their own countries better. Well, sorry, guys. Let me make something absolutely clear, guys. Some of you don't know who a migrant is. And I don't blame you, because it's very difficult to know who a migrant is. Now, if you see a guy from Pakistan, a lady from the United States, and a young person from Kenya walking on the road, they look different from you, but there's no way you can tell what their immigration status is. One could just be a tourist that comes to Europe to look at Europe and go. That's how I was. My wife was in Germany studying for 8 years, guys, and for 8 years as a journalist, I traveled back and forth to Germany and went back. Traveled back and forth and went back, guys. So every year, did I come every year or twice a year?
Every year.
I came every year. So every year I would visit my wife in Germany as a tourist and go back. Now, remember when I came, my wife would take me to the shops, and she would buy me gifts and little nice perfumes, and I'll put them in my bag and go back to Cameroon. Now, that's a tourist. I was in Germany. I'm a tourist. I just came to look at the country. I had money to spend. I'm a tourist. Now, one of those people I've just named is seeking asylum. So they fled from something, persecution, maybe religious persecution, political persecution. They've come to the country and they're seeking asylum. Let me make something clear, guys. When somebody is seeking asylum in a country, they are legally allowed to be in that country. They are not illegal. So just because somebody is on a boat and is caught coming into Britain does not mean that it's an illegal migrant, as people say. This country operates a legal system that finds everybody guilty only after due process of law. So just because somebody is found on a boat coming here does not mean that he's an illegal migrant. No. At that stage, you cannot tell if this is an illegal migrant or not. They have to be processed, fingerprinted, biometrics data taken. They have to be questioned, thoroughly investigated by the Home Office. Then the Home Office makes a decision. Big Man Tyrone, we've looked at your records, we've looked at the videos you've done back in Cameroon. We think that you are going to be unsafe. We hereby grant you stay in the United Kingdom as a refugee. You are now a refugee. Go and sin no more. All right. Or, Peter, we find that your case is bogus. There's nothing to support this claim that you were persecuted in your country. We've actually found pictures of you. We've actually found out that you were one of the policemen in your country persecuting people. So we don't find that your asylum case is valid. For that reason, we're going to remove you. That's what they call deportation, guys. Now, until somebody gets to that stage where they are declared to be illegal, they are legal. And they are given £35 a week for their food. They may be put in a house, okay, or in a little hostel. Or in a hostel somewhere, where they can stay while their case is being processed. Now, after their case fails, guys, then the Home Office will do what they call deportation. They will deport them back to their country. All right. So we have to be extremely careful. Just because you see somebody on the road looking different doesn't mean that they are illegal or they don't have a right to be here. And also trust the system, guys. Trust the law. Trust your institutions. If any black person, brown person, green person, or any person you find strange is walking the road and you're not comfortable about it, think about this, guys. The authorities have done their job with this person. They know who this person is. They know where he's going. They have control over the situation. It's not for us to take the law into our hands and say, you know what, leave our country. That is wrong. That's jungle justice. And we don't stand for that. We strongly condemn that. Somebody says, how will you pay for all that investigation? How will you avoid abuses of the system? Well, in some cases, there will be abuse, just like in any other system in the world, guys. You find people that come in to abuse the system. But the British migration system is strong and fair. It's fair and firm, okay? And they would find out how to do that. Unfortunately, taxpayers have to bear the brunt of some of these, processes. But conversely, when the migrant has settled in the country, then they can start contributing back to the economy. Big Man Tyrone, for instance, does not take anything out of the United Kingdom purse. I have set up my own things in a way that I make my own money, and I recruit people around the world. I recruit editors, I recruit admin people, I recruit designers and so on to do work for me. And as you guys know, some of you on the channel have actually offered your services to me. So not every migrant here is taking out of the purse. Migrants also put into the purse. So we are saying also to migrants, do work, that is going to be profitable. Set up businesses, set up charitable organizations, set up YouTube channels, do things that are going to be profitable to yourselves and to the community. Do things that will cause us to be independent people, not dependent people. Okay. Oh, thank you, Tyrone. I hope you're having a wonderful day. Thank you for not, well, I just missed that, but somebody's thanking me. Thank you. Yes, I'm having a wonderful day. Okay. It's a difficult day for me, but it's wonderful. Do you think your affiliation with edgy 4chan stuff could come back to bite the bottom of your political career? Yes, and no. Yes, because I think anything that you do and say that comes out in the media might harm you eventually. For instance, I can imagine somebody taking one of those videos where I said, your mom gay, and brandishing it and say, you know what, Big Man Tyrone hates gay people. I can imagine that. But of course, you guys know I don't hate gay people. We do all this in a spirit of, joviality. We do it in the spirit of fun. And I think even gay people understand that, Big Man Tyrone is doing this just for laughs. But if there are any gay people that feel offended by some of the things that we've done, on the channel, by all means, tell us, and we are going to apologize. But yes, I would agree with you. But contrary to that, also, I think we need to be able to separate our personal life or our professional life and our political life. Nothing stops Nigel Farage from being a consultant in an office, and doing consultancy work. Actually, I think Nigel Farage could actually be a good motivational speaker. If Nigel Farage were some motivational speaker set up in an office somewhere, can you imagine what kind of motivation he would give people? One man that can take a whole country out of the European Union. So we should be able to distinguish between what we do in our private career and what we do in politics. But that's a very, very good point. And I'll keep an eye on those things, and then we can see how we can troubleshoot them when the time comes. Politicians are all scammers. Well, I don't know. I don't know about that, but I am not a scammer. I've been with you guys since 2014. It's been 5 years now. You've seen me. Somebody said he's been waiting for me to throw a scam on the channel and scam people. I've not scammed anybody. Recently, you guys have been complaining that Big Man Tyrone's promos are now spammy. I went on Osbargain. I had a very few. I had quite a few negative comments. People saying Big Man Tyrone's promos have become spammy. Guys, the reason I do videos, okay, the reason I do all these things is because I want to make an honest living, guys. I want to make an honest living. I don't want to sell you affiliate products that I cannot use. I don't want to sell you schemes that I don't use. I don't want to tell you to go and invest your money in something that cannot benefit me. That's why I don't do those things. I only provide you guys with services that I can back up. So when you pay for my video, you get your video. We shake hands, you go your way. I may not be a millionaire yet because I'm doing all these things. Maybe I would have made millions if I were selling scams, but it's just not me, guys. And I don't see why I should become a scammer as a politician now, just because I'm in politics, guys. So I don't agree that all politicians are scammers. They may be scammers in politics, but I'm not one of them. I must promise you. Somebody says stop spamming. I know, I know you're just trying to pull my leg. Does the Migrant Party have any other views over other topics, or is it just migration? That is a wonderful question, and that kind of question is the kind of question that Sky News guys would ask you, whether this party is anchored on one topic alone. So guys, it is not just migration. We are passionate about migration. The Green Party is passionate about green issues. Caroline Lucas. The Brexit Party is passionate about coming out of the UK. Nigel Farage. The Conservatives are passionate about conservatism. Conserving. About all those politics that make up the Conservative Party. The Labour people are conservative, but somebody, Super Wolfman 75 says the Migrant Party isn't very inclusive. No, I think it is, because it depends on how the strategy is rolled out. People are seeing it like it's just migrants hunched together in a little bar and saying, come on, guys, and let's form a party. That's not what it is. When you guys will fully grasp what I want to accomplish with the Migrants Party, all of you guys on the channel will become supporters of the Migrants Party. Believe you me, guys, I promise you, if you can listen to what I'm doing in this party, if you can see what is coming. I was doing all these thumbnails yesterday, guys, and I just have them here, what we stand for. We condemn racist sentiment. Is the Migrant Party anti-British? That's one of the videos that's coming. What racial hatred can do. British people love their migrants. I've already said that. I don't see anything to the contrary. How the media can help stop racial hatred. Why migrants need to sit up. You see, there's something here about why migrants need to sit up, because I think migrants have their own issues that need to be addressed. Migrant Party policy objectives. So we have policy objectives, but we also, guys, have, we take a stance on global issues, global and national issues, guys. For instance, we take a stand against, environmental abuse. So we stand with people like Caroline Lucas that are calling for the environment to be kept safe. When it comes to diplomacy, for instance, we are for appeasement, but we are for using the maximum strength when it comes to the safety of our country. We stand for a strong nuclear Britain that can deter its enemies. So it's not just the Migrants Party, guys. We stand for other things as well, but our thrust is to use migration as an anchor to make Britain a country that lives in harmony again, because we have found out, sometimes firsthand, that there are racial problems. You've seen what I've experienced on the channel today. You've seen what some people have told me. Some people have asked me on the channel to go back to my country. Some have insulted me that I came to Britain because I was a failure back in my own country. Now, if Big Man Tyrone, a YouTube personality, can go through such abuse, can you imagine what the defenseless man on the street can go through? Can you see that? So let's not minimize, guys. Let's not take for granted what the Migrants Party stands for. The Migrants Party is a positive force that has come to Great Britain to bring migrants and the local people to live together in a spirit of harmony, in a spirit of true love, a spirit of sharing, a spirit of shared values. And we are going to accomplish that through different kinds of programs. We have a thing called National Patriotism Day that we are planning to roll out, guys. It's a day when migrants in this country will come out en masse to show their love for Great Britain. We'll be dressed as British characters. It's going to be fun. It's going to be some kind of a British cosplay done by migrants to come out and show appreciation for the culture of the country. We are going to have something called Thank You Migrants Day, or Migrants Thank You Day, where we just come out. People are wearing T-shirts and saying, Migrant Party, thank you, people of Great Britain. where we just go out into the community with massive flyers, telling people, thank you for having us in your country. You put the flyer through the door, or if you knock the door and somebody opens the door, say, my name is Gordon. I've just come to say thank you for having me in your country. Think about that. Those are the kinds of programs that we are planning to roll out. We are also planning to roll out programs that will be like, open day events when the British people come out and sit around migrants and listen to migration stories. Because migrants have interesting stories to tell, guys. And the British people would listen to these stories firsthand. They would ask him, so, when you came out of that boat, did you think you were going to die? And they would tell their stories, chivalrous stories of escape from brutal regimes. Some would tell about love stories. Some would tell all manner of stories. So it's about people understanding one another, of sharing experiences, and building a country that is truly, truly safe for everyone living in it. Do you speak Russian? No, I don't speak Russian. It's a difficult language. So difficult. I always find difficulties reading it. And I ask everyone sending in a script to do a vocaro and send it to me so that I can know how to read it. If we integrate migrants in society by making them live around the original people, everything will slowly come together. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying. I'm saying that there are Black people that have never interacted with a white person one-to-one. Never. And I know of some white friends of mine that have never ever encountered a Black person. Never. And I'm saying there's no reason for it. I'm not saying that we're going to catch people and manacle them together and say, hey, you come here, you migrant, you non-migrant, boom, come together now, and we are going to chain you. I'm on a live stream now, okay? We are saying we are going to be opening up all these programs that I mentioned a short while ago. Imagine Welcome to Britain Day, where the local people, and you see, guys, let me say something. What I'm saying here is not just some crazy idea. I've actually done it before, guys. I've done it before. Now, if you go online and you type my name, Gordon Hurd, Liverpool Echo, Gordon Hurd, Liverpool Echo, you will see how I brought 11,000 children in schools in Liverpool to interact with migrants. The story was covered, guys, in the Liverpool Echo, guys, in 2007. That was also the year that I published the UK's first ever refugee magazine called Haven magazine. So everything I'm doing, guys, I have experience of doing. I've created a refugee magazine before. I've created a refugee award ceremony where we offered awards to refugees that had done well. And in that event, every person of substance came out to that event. There were 600 guests, including 20 policemen. There were representatives from the prison department, from the National Health Service, from all local communities, from far and wide, from the council. The mayors were there, parliamentarians. People came, guys, to that wonderful event in 2007, which I organized, and I called it the Refugee Awards. And we give out prizes to refugees and recognize them for their contribution to the society. I actually got a trophy from Merseyside Police. It was given to me by Bernard Hogan Howe for my services to the community. I also set up a program called LOVA, Love Asylum Seekers and Refugees Project, where I built it was an IT hub in Liverpool. By that time, you were not yet born, actually. You were not born. That was in 2004. You were not yet born. My son is here with me. He was not yet born at that time. But this community project brought local people together into like an IT hub to meet migrants and just interact, do their homework together, chat together, do things together, live together without fear of the other. So it's not, what I'm proposing, guys, is not some magic portion, and it's not some far-fetched thing that cannot be done. I have done it before, guys, with sterling results. Unfortunately, money ran out because it was a project that was funded by the Home Office, and the money ran out because we had about 100,000 pounds to do the project for about 18 months, which was not quite a lot. It wasn't quite a lot, guys. So what I'm saying is we should the creeper is going to blow you. They're talking about you. I like your hoodie, Tyrone Jr. You need to go now. You are distracting. You are distracting my chat. That's my son there, guys. All right. Well, guys, I don't know if you think there are any other things we need to discuss. Unfortunately, will we have Small Man Tyrone at some point? Yes, of course, he's setting up his gaming channel as I speak, and he will be coming to you guys soon. Hey Tyrone, I really like what you're doing, launching your party, but one thing I have to say is your viewer base is extremely far right. There were some pretty terrible comments in the launch with yes, and that's fine. I've said that's absolutely fine. I know that there are a lot of right-wing people on the channel, and I love them still, and I respect them for that. It's good to stand up for your opinions, guys, and I'm happy that you stood up for yours, okay? All I ask is that you should allow me the chance to explain to you and roll out what the Migrant Party wants to do, and I guarantee you, guys, there is nothing in the Migrant Party that is going to oppose your country. There's nothing in the Migrant Party that is going to work against the interest of Great Britain. Great Britain is my country. I've already showed you what my passport is. It's a British passport. It's here, guys. I'm a British citizen. So is my son here. Okay.
Beggar.
Yes, they're all British citizens. So we are in love with your country. We are in love with your land. Your land has helped us settle. We are grateful to be here. But again, we do not condone racism. We do not condone that anybody should go and call out for migrants to be harmed in any way, and that we would fight, guys, to the last drop of our blood. So don't, okay, majority of NHS staff are migrants. My parents are NHS migrants. Okay, I think I misinterpreted it. Yes, I'm so sorry about that. When you made that comment, I think it got mixed up with another one. You said, sorry, I think you misinterpreted my comment from earlier. Majority staff migrants. My parents are NHS migrants, nurses. That's correct. That's correct. It's actually 64%, guys, of NHS staff. But again, there was another comment that said something about migrants working there, and then most of them accessing it free of charge. It was not to your comment that I was referring. It was to another comment that made that other remark about migrants accessing it free of charge. It's not just migrants that access the NHS free of charge. Everybody else accesses it. Now, if my son here accesses it free of charge, and I access it...
Not a refugee.
Yeah, you are not a migrant, but I am a migrant, isn't it? Because I came to live in this country. You are born here, so you are British. You're fine. But what I'm saying is that if I access it, okay, under the right conditions, there's nothing wrong with it. It is if somebody accesses it, tries to access it illegally, that it becomes a problem.
Vivon Zulu.
Okay, go. I need to finish this. Okay, keep some of that stuff for me, please. Keep some of that stuff for me. Want me to take your son? Okay. All right, guys. It's been 1 hour, 23 minutes and 46 seconds, guys. I think I'm going to round up this live chat, guys. It was practically a live chat to elucidate some of the issues that have arisen in the chat section, and to address all the hate mail, all the hate comments that have come in there. As I've said, guys, I have absolutely no problem with the hate sentiments that you've expressed, because those sentiments inform the Migrants Party about the issues that need to be addressed. It informs the Migrants Party about the fears that the people of this country have about migrants. It informs the Migrants Party about the expectations that the people of this country have of the Migrants Party. So I thank you guys actually for those comments. Those comments Some of them are hurtful to me. Okay, but this is above me, guys. This is not about me. I've got to put my own sentiments aside and deal with the issue at hand, guys, which is to build a new political party in Britain that will work for the benefits of migrants and serve the United Kingdom as a whole. Okay, so I'm going to leave you guys now. I've had a rough day, guys. I've been having a very itchy throat. I'm going to look at it. Maybe I need some tea and some lime. I'm not quite sure, but my wife will be telling me, don't worry, mommy, it's a live chat, and my fans understand that this is family, so don't be too prescriptive about what they do. All right. So guys, it's getting a bit distracting here with family missing me and kids crawling under the table and trying to catch my attention. So with your kind permission, guys, I will stop the live chat now. Okay. But I am saying, please look at your opinion about migrants again. Think carefully about how you conceive migrants. Think carefully about how you treat migrants. There's some work going on in the house, guys. They are also renovating, so there's that noise there in the background. But above all, guys, make a positive contribution to the work that I am doing. For those of you that are able, go to the donation section, guys. Some of you have already donated. I see £32 here for the live chat, which is wonderful, guys. Solly has, put some money in here, and I've got some other contributors, putting some money in. I didn't catch your names, guys. Every little thing you do now is going to help the Migrants Party. We need to have a base where we can operate from. We need transport. We need stationery. We need equipment. We need staff, guys. We need volunteers. We don't have, people bankrolling us. We don't have, huge donors standing with us, guys. We look only to supporters and sympathizers like yourselves. And to all my friends in the channel, I think it's a great thing that one of us is, rising to this political position, because if I become the Prime Minister of the United Kingdom tomorrow, imagine what's going to happen. You can knock on the door of number 10 and say, I want to speak to Big Man Tyrone.
You're number 7. Number 7.
I'm talking about Downing Street, not the door of our house. So, guys, I love you all, okay? Take care and keep those comments coming, guys. Good or bad, guys. Good, bad, ugly. We love you all. Take care now. Bye. Big Man Tyrone out. How do you stop this thing?